Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right. Well, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason. I'm the best man today. So I'm your best man for the evening. Or I should say it's my honor to be the best man today. I've known Jon for quite a while. And when I first met him, I kind of pegged him as one of those guys who I thought was going to be living in his parents' basement, stay virgin. Until he was 40. I did say stay virgin, right, Jon? Oh, okay, I just want to make sure. But you know what? He proved me wrong. He ended up moving out of his parents' basement. He bought a house, met a great girl, has a good job, good friends. So he's doing pretty good for himself. So now he's a 28-year-old virgin that still collects comic books and action figures. And Brooke. You know, it just seems like the other day when me, you, and Marlene were sitting around and I was listening to you two cackle about how you both thought you were going to be old maids and never get married and have lots of cats. And I think one of you even mentioned becoming a nun at one time. But I think that was Marlene. Yeah, sorry, Mar. And may I add how beautiful you both look tonight? Well, seriously, I've known Jon for about 14 or 15 years now. And we actually met through our moms. Our moms used to play baseball together. And being that we were kind of smaller at the time, they would drag us up to the field with them. Thank you, Mrs. Slaughter. They would drag us up to the field with them, and we'd watch them play baseball, and that's how we got to know each other. And to be totally honest with everybody in this room, me and Jon did not like each other when we first met. In fact, we kind of hated each other. But you know what? We were put in a lot of situations where we were kind of forced to be around each other. And if anybody in this room knows Jon, you know he grows on you. Kind of like fungus. But no, you know what? I'm certainly glad he did grow on me because I would have missed out on quite a bit if he didn't. And I've known Brooke even longer than I've known Jon. I've known Brooke since kindergarten school. And you know, if memory serves me right, which I'm pretty sure it does, Brooke used to pick on me when I was in kindergarten school. So I guess you can say that I didn't like Jon or Brooke. But hey, we're the best of friends now. Maybe not after the speech today, but at one time we were the best of friends. But seriously, I'm really happy to see you two engaged, married, and let me talk about the first time that they really had an opportunity to communicate to each other. You know, me and Jon were out one day. Well, let me go back a few weeks before that. I was over at Jon's house. I was going to pick him up, and I don't know if Jon remembers this or his mom remembers this, but when we're walking out the door, Jon's mom walks over to me, and she said, "Why don't you introduce Jon to a nice girl?" And I thought about it for a few minutes, and then I thought, one, I don't know any nice girls, and two, if I did, why would I introduce him to Jon? A few weeks go by, and then I was invited to a party. Jon was with me, and Brooke ended up calling me up that day, and she's like, "Well, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm thinking about going to a party." So she's like, "Well, I want to go." So the three of us all went to the party together, and this was the first time that I really remembered Jon and Brooke in a situation where they got to know each other. I mean, they've met once before, but this was the first time that they actually were kind of forced to communicate. But they did, and a few weeks after that, Jon ends up giving me a call one day, and he's like, "Jay, I really need to talk to you about something really important." I was like, "Oh crap, the kid wants my kidney or something." So, you know, he's like, "Well, I don't want to tell you over the phone. We have to do it in person." I'm like, "All right." So we get together, and then he's like, "Jay, I'm thinking of asking Brooke out on a date." And, you know, in the back of my head, I admit I was kind of shocked, but then I was also kind of relieved that he didn't want my kidney. So I was like, well, it should be a good time, so yeah, go buy your dinner or something. And I guess the date went really good, because we're all here tonight. But seriously, all kidding aside, Jon, you're my brother, and I love you, I really do. And Brooke, you're like a sister to me, you really are. So, with that pleasant thought in mind of my brother and my sister just getting married, I'd like to propose a toast. If everyone could please raise their glasses there to Brooke and Jon, Mr. and Mrs. Tucker, my siblings. May you have 50 years of great marriage and on, and have lots of babies.